Hello and welcome back to Football Manager. You can see we're on a different screen to normal to start this video off. Just a quick look at how my personal manager has developed over the number of years that this game has been played over. As you can see, we've got some very good opinions of us from previous players, other managers, previous coaching staff, that sort of stuff. Also a few unliked, like Yuri Skalic, who we kicked out of Millwall. This guy who we had a rather scathing review of when he was in charge of Amiens, when we first took over at Millwall and loaned a few players to him. Career milestones, got some good stuff, got FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Europa League, runner-up in the Championship and a good Valorant National League win. Some good, solid credentials behind us. Very reputable manager, I think 82% I looked at, or 80%, dropped off a little bit. Pro licence, straight through, all the licences done. Some good knowledge of England, Wales, very good knowledge of Italy. Very good career stats, I have to admit. 54% win rate's a very impressive number, especially when you also consider that the other half of the games played has been split between draws and losses. We've probably got more points gained than we have lost at this point, and that's, to me, very impressive. Just a quick look at milestones for the awards. Manager of the Year for Millwall, couple Manager of the Months, Manager of the Year, I believe twice for Boston, Manager of the Month a few times again as well. Very, very, very impressive, at least personally. Competition wise, well, it'll be under landmarks. I think we noted these ones, of course. Very, very happy. Now, the next manager to take on the position from me is going to get some very large economic benefits and support from the board, because not only are the club building a new stadium with the plans, I believe, working at around, I think it was 45,000 seats, which is incredible. You'll also note effectively £144 million transfer budget. Now, admittedly, I've already done one transfer. This guy, Lucas Weatherby, I haven't confirmed it yet. I'm going to do it now on camera so you actually saw we had the max number of transfer budget. But I'm bringing him in as a, first choice goalkeeper. I'm also looking at bringing in Blas Fernandez, a central midfielder from Argentinos Juniors, for, I believe it was £15.25 million, who is already at this level better than NATO, Mount, whoever. We've got, even in central midfield or attack midfield, he is the second best in both positions. Some good potential, only 21. I don't believe he's been capped yet by Argentina. No, he hasn't. But with Millwall, he may very well could. He's not going to cost much money. I believe his contract was like £58,000 a week. Not difficult to pay. And it's only going to cost us, as I mentioned, £15.25 million. Very nice money. As I mentioned, we're going to accept that Lucas Weatherby offer. Now, on some more sombre news. Unfortunately, not only is Vargic leaving Boston are leaving League One. And Vargic, nice to see he did play that round 260 games before leaving Boston. But unfortunately, Boston, as I mentioned, are going down. They were relegated 21st in the league. Had they not lost to Wickham and actually beaten them, they would have stayed up. It was as simple as that. But Adam Lee was unstoppable for this season for Wickham, on loan from us. So that was just a thing that was going to happen regardless, I think. So that's unfortunate, of course. Now, as I mentioned, we're watching the last two league games. Then we'll be playing the international fixtures. So obviously these two fixtures we played on camera. And then next Monday, so the season will finish on Wednesday. And then you'll have a 2-day break before we get on to Monday, where we play the Europa Championships, which I I don't even know what that's actually called in real life, because it's just Euro 2020. If it's just Euro XY, whatever year it is, sort of thing. So this is Euro 2028. I'm not too sure if it's actually anything like special in the name, like the World Cup, because it's not really the European Cup, because that's the Champions League, really. I'm waffling, sorry. Yes, as mentioned, we're playing the European Football Championship, what it's called in this. We've got Scotland, Serbia and Switzerland in our group. Not a difficult group. But in Group B, if we were to win it and Germany didn't win their group and came second, we could very well be playing them in the second round, which would probably see us knocked out. So we have to make a few alterations. But we're looking today in the Dockers Derby to finish on a high. And I believe the final away fixture of the season, we're looking to get a win on the table. This is the team I'm going to pick for today's game. We've got Plizzari in goal, Ramsey, Eduardo, Yola and Augusto in defence, Nato, Doyle in the midfield behind Jovanovski, Leonardo, Nestorov and Mateus. Mateus has scored a number of goals in the latter portion of the season. In fact, last month played 4 games, scored 6. Very impressive. Louis Barry, 8 goals from 18. Not as good, but still very impressive, as he's not really had an opportunity to play this season. Lopez only just come back from his injury, but I don't think I'm going to risk him in either of these 2 fixtures, because it just doesn't seem worth it, if you know what I mean. So he's going to be out of the team for a little while. And I think this probably will be the same thing we use for both of the next 2 fixtures, just because it's probably our best team we've got. So let's click submit team, let's get forward into this West Ham fixture at the London Stadium, previously the home ground for this Millwall side, and let's get that victory that we definitely deserve. Another interesting point to note is victory for us today and a Manchester City failure to win means that we would have an opportunity to finish in second place. As you can see, we are sitting just a single place behind them with 3 points as the difference, which means as long as they don't win, we've got a very good chance of getting ahead of them, if they're playing difficult enough opposition for them not to win, that is. So far, very boring game, no highlights to note. A couple of yellow cards, 1 apiece. We just need to get some creativity in this side, and that's annoying, because I haven't got Livramento on the bench. So he's going to have to come off for... Actually, no, yes, Watson come on for him, and then we'll put Yola out on the wing as a fullback on a defensive instruction, just so he pulls back a bit further so we don't risk making a mistake at the wing. Go from there, I think, which is obviously unfortunate. We've got Ramsey now injured. That's not what we want to see, obviously. We've got Livramento as a backup, but he's only just recovered from an injury, so it's going to be difficult work in the final game against Aston Villa. Leonardo now with the ball, looking to get past the number 21, does, but unfortunately Norman stops him getting any further. Ball played over the top by Griffiths, only to be found by Augusto. Augusto gets to the edge of the box, holding now the ball up, plays it to Nestorov, crosses it in, but headed away by someone I didn't read the name quick enough of, but NATO's shot is put wide. I believe it was Ayrton Lucas was the player that headed the ball clear, well, I say clear, onto the boot of our Spanish centre midfielder. But yes, very good start so far, nothing to worry about, at least not drastically. And we've got another chance here. Yola plays the ball to Doyle in the middle. Doyle running it forward, getting to the byline, now plays it to Yola. Yola playing himself into a corner, does find Doyle again, and this time a little bit more space now, plays it to Eduardo, back to Yola again. Now all the way back to Plizzari, who plays it forward to Watson, who's got clean air in front of him. Plays it to Augusto. Augusto running down the wing, looking to get to the edge of the box, stops just short and plays it to Leonardo. Plays it to Doyle. Doyle now to NATO. NATO looking up, shoots again, but this time the ball's saved out for a corner on the other side. Corner kick from Leonardo. Stands over it, swings it into the far post, but headed away only as far as NATO, who plays the ball to Mateus, and Doyle, goal hanging, steals the header, and unfortunately, oh, it was Eduardo who stole it, not Doyle. My apologies, Doyle. Either way, he stole the ball from Mateus' shot. No, that was Doyle, yeah. Why did it sum up with Yola? I mean, with Eduardo, sorry. Either way, it's an offside call, and it's unfortunately taken away our opening goal. But he was clearly offside, and it was a deserved call, let's put it that way. I'm going to be very assertive in saying I'm not happy with their performance. We have dominated possession, quite clearly, but something needs to change. We're going to bring Nestorov off as well as Mateus, and that is actually going to finish off all of our substitutions for this fixture, and we're going to hope that we can hold out without another injury, because if another injury happens, well, we're kind of stuffed. After 50 minutes, the Dockers derby is still sitting at a 0-0 draw, which is how it actually ended in the, I say home fixture, very likely, because we were playing at the London Stadium for the home fixture as well, because at that point in time it was our home fixture. That was our home stadium, I should say. Norman plays the ball to Bogle. Bogle back to Norman again, in the middle to Gutierrez. Gutierrez plays it back to Norman once more. Norman plays the ball over the top, looking for Ayrton. Lucas finds him, and unfortunately Olivier Nitcham puts the ball into the back of the net, and West Ham take the lead, and Millwall have unfortunately faltered at the final hurdle in their bid for a runner-up position for the first time in the club's history to the Premiership. Alessandro Pizzari, terrible piece of goalkeeping from him, barely getting a palm on the ball to stop it from going in the back of the net, but it still went straight through him. And unfortunately, we're going to need to go into an attacking mentality. And of course we get another injury. Mario Augusto has taken a knock with a bruised thigh, which, if you ask me, isn't an injury, it's a bruise. I mean, if I was playing cricket like I did when I was younger and I had a bruised arm, I wouldn't pull out of the team because I had a little bit of an owie. Jovanovski, with a terrible piece of football again. He has not been playing well the last few games, and he gives the ball away to Norman, who gives the ball to Stevens, who shoots. But thankfully Pizzari is up to the task this time round and does save us from going 2-0 down. Now, corner kick from Fornals, swings the ball into the far post. It's headed straight into the gloves of Pizzari, but unfortunately the highlight does not continue. But yes, as I mentioned, Jovanovski has played very poor football in the last few games. In fact, I don't think he's actually finished any of the last, 5 games. He's been subbed off at various points for poor performances, and today, unfortunately, was different, and we ended up losing. And I'll be very aggressive in saying that was not good enough. There are no excuses, and we should have dominated that fixture. But in the next game against Aston Villa, not only have we not got Kane Ramsey, we may very well not have Mario Augusto, which is very, very, very worrying. Oh dear. Oh my dear God. 6 to 7 months with a damaged cruciate ligament injury means he won't be back until Christmas at the earliest. And thankfully a bruised thigh from Mario Augusto only keeps him out 5 to 8 days, but he is not playing against Aston Villa. Simple as that. So I think that's it for this video. Until the Aston Villa game, we've got nothing really to show you, I don't think. Currently sitting at B- managed performance. Very happy with that, obviously. I might look before the end of the season for a backup right back to replace Ramsey if he is going to be out till Christmas, because we can't just have Livramento as our singular right back. So if I find one, I might sign him, and he might appear before the Aston Villa fixture. If not, then we'll have to see what the manager does next season. So until the Aston Villa game, I bid thee adieu. Goodbye.